Okay, so we are going to get started. Welcome, everyone. I am Kayla Thompson, the museum educator at Gadsden Arts. Thank you so much for joining us this evening to celebrate our Teen Art Council ambassadors for their exhibition of Voices in Silence, Unmasking Social Realities. I am so honored to be over a group of teens that have just been so themselves and so lovely and just funny and engaging. And yeah, thank you for joining us this evening. So I'm going to give the floor to Grace, the executive director at Gadsden Arts, to give a little welcome.
I just want to congratulate you all for the work you've done. I love the work in your exhibition at Gadsden Arts. It's our privilege to exhibit it. We've heard several of visitors respond already, saying how powerful they feel it is. So congratulations for having a lot to say and saying it well. I'd like to thank the many people who help us fund our Art for Children programs, which we should really call Art for Children and Youth, because you are our youth and our future. Our Art for Children sponsors are private donors who give to make this possible. And this program is supported in part by the National Endowment for the Arts, which is on the web at arts.gov. Back to you, Kayla.
Yes, thank you. So they were able to do an art talk with Dean Mitchell, who's a watercolor artist, followed by a workshop with Kabuya Bowen Safo, who is an artist as well as the curator at Anderson Berkler Gallery located in Tallahassee. On this Friday, they'll be doing a workshop with Samantha McCoy and Chris Rivera, who are both local artists who actually have their own exhibition on display in our Monroe Gallery located upstairs, as well as a piece to compare and contrast with our David Hockney 15 study on canvas Grand Canyon piece. And then followed by the Samantha McCoy and Chris Rivera workshop, they'll also have a behind the scenes tour with Aja Roche, who's also an artist and the director of Foster Tanner Gallery located on FAMU's campus, and then end with an art talk with Alexa Klinbar, who will be doing a compare and contrast with that same David Hockney piece. So please, I encourage you all to make time to come out to Gadsden Arts. We are open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 5, in order to see these compare and contrast and just enjoy the Gadsden Arts space. So the next few slides is going to be me showing you all some of our group photos and things that we have been doing in the Teen Art Council program. So this photo is from the Icelandic exhibition, which we had in October. And some of their duties included just greeting visitors, taking photos, tracking guests, and helping with clean up. So here is my crew that evening. I was very pleased with their efforts in engaging with guests and making sure that they just did the responsibilities and not just, hanging around and not doing anything, because again, they do get paid. So I was very pleased with their efforts and taking their duty seriously and helping visitors navigate through the museum. My next photo is one of my very first projects with my teens, which I was very excited about because prior to being the museum educator, I was the summer camp instructor last summer, and I had a blast. However, I'm a very organized person. And so sometimes I would come in and I would reach for watercolor and there would be paper towels or glue sticks as opposed to paint and things like that. And so I was very serious about getting things organized, and my teens were able to come out on a Saturday and help organize that studio located in the Woodwell Family Art Studio closet upstairs. And so here's a few pictures of that process. I don't have a before picture of the paper, but just by looking at it, you can only imagine how chaotic this actually looked prior. So I'm very pleased that every time I enter this closet to this day, it is still organized. So I'm thankful for everybody's help to get this studio in better condition for not only myself, but for any volunteers that go into that closet, they can easily access the supplies needed. The next image is various pictures of our workshop hosted and guided by Kabuya Bowen Safo, again, who is a local artist as well as the curator of Anderson Berkler Gallery. This workshop was inspired by Jacob Lawrence, who we have his prints on display now. The exhibition is titled Jacob Lawrence, 3 Series of Prints. That series includes his Genesis series, his Hiroshima series, and his Toussaint Louverture series, all on display now. It is open until May 4th. And so here is my teens just going through the process of that workshop. Kabuya was gracious enough to come out on Saturday, give them a little history, background knowledge of Jacob Lawrence, and then guide them in their own like accordion booklet activity, being that Jacob Lawrence is known for his storytelling and retelling of historic events. Next, I have just a few more of those images, as well as the display case that is alongside their Voices in Silence exhibition. And so here are the pieces on display, which I was very pleased about because I know they worked hard on that. Kabuya was excited to display their work. So was I and Grace. And so we were able to accomplish that with these pedestals that look so very nice. And my team should be so very proud of themselves. Next, on that same day, my team stayed. It was a long day for us, but they stayed and participated in our Festive Family Day, where they made holiday art and crafts. I have a close-up image of, I think we called it Candyman. I don't know, Byron, you can chime in if you would like to in the chat, but this was his like little cool ornament guy, which I thought was very creative because at first it started with just one pipe cleaner. I think it started as a candy cane and it just kept growing and growing. And I just loved how he like stuck with the process. And then of course we have a little group photo of them making their arts and crafts. And I was just pleased to just see them stay because, you know, sometimes teens just like to stay in the house and do their own thing. So I was happy that after the workshop with Kabuya, they chose to stay on their own. I mean, yes, I feel like maybe money was a part of it, but they chose to stay and create craft after craft after craft after craft. So I was very pleased with them in this workshop as well. And now the fun part, my teens are going to introduce themselves. So share their name, grade level, and then go into their why for their artwork, which was inspired again by the workshop led by Kabuya, but also Jacob Lawrence, who is or was known for his dynamic cubism style. Again, his retelling of historic events and his depiction of day-to-day life in Harlem. He passed away in 2000, but he was very well known for, again, the way he retold historic events and his passion for not just Black history, but all history and how it impacted everyone. So first up, we have Aja. So if you can get off mute and explain your piece, introduce yourself.
Hello everyone. My name is Aja Burns and my piece is called Inside Out. And this piece, I wanted to depict a person possibly struggling with depression or suicidal thoughts or just negative or negativity involved in their life. And what I depicted was a young woman in like this cartoony fairy tale world where everything seems like sunshine, rainbows. And inside of her, it's like all these negative thoughts. And then on the pieces of paper, it's words like hateful words that she may have heard from other people or that she tells herself with like scribbles to represent like the blackness and darkness in her life and negativity. And it's like a broken heart inside, and the papers are burnt.
Next up, we have Byron.
Hi. My project is called My Two Worlds and slash My American Dream. Um, Basically represents showcasing where I come from and my past, and the Polaroid pics are things that mean a lot to me now in my present. The old pics are mostly places that I've been in or people that I know. Some of them are mostly my family. That one guy in the red shirt, he's actually the one that took some of those pictures. He was born here and he's an American. He was born here and went to El Salvador because he liked to travel a lot and he liked photography a lot. So he captured a lot of different places and events that were happening in El Salvador. And yeah, the polar pics are just things that mean a lot to me. Like one of them is my family. Another one is two guys that actually sparred that day. I lost to one of them, but I did beat the other one. But yeah, so that's one of them. My gaming system, and I like to thrift a lot. I find that really fun and just something that brings me a lot of peace. So I did include that. The main pick is, at least my opinion, is the one with my mom and my cat, because that's just something that, you know, probably has more meaning than everything in my whole project. And I also included my school. That's actually my Advent classroom. Yeah, I included it because you had to include my school. I feel like that's also very important. But yeah, it just basically represents where I come from and where I am now. Yeah,
Awesome. Thank you,
no
Byron.
problem.
Next, we have Chantis.
Um, Hi, my name is Chantis Womble. I'm in the 11th grade, and my piece is entitled How Many Today? I wanted to convey the shocking reality of gun violence in our society, where people live in a constant terror due to how frequent mass shootings occur. The purpose of How Many Today is to illustrate how normal violence is in our society, how everyone is impacted by this problem, especially the younger generation, as we have school shootings that happen so frequently, children are afraid to go to places where they're supposed to learn. The theme of my work is alarm. I believe that painting the gun black and placing it on top of the canvas will draw the viewer's attention and instill a sense of concern about the state of our world today. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Galilea.
Hi, my name is Galilea Hernandez. I'm in the 9th grade. My piece is called Angst. I don't have a particular meaning, but it's for those who don't know how to express themselves. Angst is a familiar feeling that young minds tend to have. They don't really know how to express themselves, so they choose to hide their emotions. So they're just trapped in their mind, consumed by their thoughts. So it just influences them to feel numb, basically. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Next, we have Jeanette.
Mine is basically just talking about, how America has these problems, but it's supposed to be seen as this great place. So in like the top left corner, it's focusing on capitalism, and in the middle, it's focusing on slavery. And at the right, it's focusing on the war and everything that's happening currently with Pakistan. And at the bottom, it's focusing on mental illness. And at the left bottom, it's on like climate change, on how the earth is basically dying. And in the middle, I have We the People, which is supposed to be a positive statement, as it's like the first thing in our preamble of our Constitution. And I just thought to like use that to show how it's not all great.
Thank you, Jeanette. Next, we have Jennifer.
My name is Jennifer. I'm in the 11th grade, and while I was making this I thought I was hoping to encourage people to reevaluate their own priorities and reassess what truly brings them fulfillment in life. And my intention was for viewers to find solace in recognizing the immeasurable richness that lies within their own relationships. And yeah.
Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, now we have Kiara. I know I saw her.
My name is Kiera. I'm in ninth grade, and I named my art "Elephant in the Room" because I feel that people tend to ignore certain problems to make themselves feel comfortable, and it ends up getting swept under the rug. Like when they tell people to ask for help when they're sad and depressed. When they ask for help, they end up getting ignored. So, yeah.
Thanks, Kiara. Okay, now we have Lanaya.
Hi. So basically, my artwork was based on social media, and I feel that as an artist, we tend to like overuse social media, and I'm deeply concerned about the negative impact that social media has on our thoughts and emotions. The constant stream of images and information that we consume online can be overpowering and overwhelming, leading to feelings of anxiety, depression, and inadequacy. The virtual world often presents an unrealistic and idealized version of reality that can warp our perception of the real world, creating unrealistic expectations and desires. I believe that it is important to be mindful of the influence that social media has on our thoughts and emotions, and to recognize the potential negative impact that it can have on our mental health. Through my work, I explore the complexities of the virtual world and the ways it shapes our perceptions of the world, highlighting the potential dangers of social media and encouraging people to be more mindful of their own habits.
Awesome. Thank you, Lanaya. Next, we have Madison.
Hi, I'm Madison. I'm in the 10th grade. Um, I was inspired to make this piece after falling down a rabbit hole about the war in Palestine on Instagram. I kept reading stories about how people were without basic needs that they need to, well, survive. And it shocked me that more people have died from diseases than the actual fighting in Palestine. And I left my piece untitled because I felt like the flag speaks for itself. Thank you.
Thank you, Madison. Next, we have Serendipity.
Hi, I'm Serendipity. I'm a senior at Sale High School. I'm a fiber artist, and this piece is called Suffocated by Convenience, and it's a commentary on the increasing problem of growing amounts of waste in like landfills and just in general everywhere around the world. Um, it goes through a specific lens of the dilemmas with fast fashion and how it's becoming a alarmingly big industry that's causing so much waste for us. And the consequences of making our society more convenient day by day is that it's like, yeah, all of it's really convenient, but it's also causing a crazy amount of waste as we go on. And it's just going to slowly decay our earth. It's like one of my big missions of spreading awareness of fast fashion. And stuff of that nature. And most of my artwork is an indirect commentary on a social dilemma, such as beauty standards, land pollution, global warming, stuff of that nature. I try to not limit myself when it comes to 3D art, which is like I'll incorporate stuff like crocheting, sewing, sculpting with clay, even painting murals as like a fabric and then going back over. I really like to try to make my vision as true to possible as I want it to be. And for this one, I think I did exactly that. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Next, we have Ureli.
Okay, my name is Aurelie. I'm in 11th grade, and the title of my art piece is called Shattered Reflections of Society. And on my canvas, I try to express the spirit of our current time. My goal as an artist is to bring attention to today's issues. I didn't include all of them because I didn't have enough space, but I try to include most of them. And I use multiple TV screens as a representation of the media's widespread impact and ability to shape our perception of a variety of societal issues. Every screen features a different issue, which overall represents the wide spectrum of the problems in humanity today. I use a red background to represent like urgency or like alarm, and I also use broken mirrors to depict like a warped reality and showing how like other influencers such as like media biases can like alter our perception of how we view the world.
Thank you, Ureli. And lastly, we have Zaria, but I did not see her come through the screen, and I still don't see her. But her piece was also untitled. It is Valentine inspired. She used clay, and from what her artist statement shared was that she wanted to, even though it was more so giving Valentine's Day, she wanted to represent love, and how important love is and relationships are with people. And although it causes heartbreak and anger and sadness, love is one of the strongest emotions that we can have and what brings people together. And so she wanted to recognize that in itself, being that is a part of her just day-to-day life, and of course the lives of others. So that is Zaria's piece. Thank you.
I'm unmuted.